Good evening. Welcome to Oconee County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, November 29th. If you're joining us virtually to comment during the public comment portions of the meeting, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. After a moment of silence, we're going to ask Mark Thomas to lead us in the pledge. Please stand. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands.
Yeah, first item of business be to approve the agenda. I would like to request that we add item 6 under section 6, number 7. Consider postponement of rezone P22-0155.
I'll make a motion. A second.
All right, we have a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next item is statements and remarks from citizens for anything that's not on the agenda. Ms. Brown, if you want to come up, man. Yes.
Down. Okay, hold on a second.
Thank you.
We're just catching our breath, okay? Let me just tell you. Okay, Chairman Daniel, Commissioners, thank you for letting me address you tonight. My name is Linda Brown. I live in Columbia County. And I am the Executive Director of 10 Commandments, Georgia. It's an organization that was founded by Congressman Jody Hice. So I was told I have a very short time. I think that's why I'm already out of breath, trying to get ready for saying this in 3 minutes, all right? So Georgia law states that each municipality and political subdivision of the state shall be authorized to post the foundation of America's law and government documents in a visible public location in the judicial facilities of each municipality. And those documents are 10 Commandments, Magna Carta. I'm going to get a test afterwards, okay? 10 Commandments, Magna Carta, Mayflower Compact, Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the preamble to the Georgia State Constitution, the Star Spangled Banner, Lady Justice, and our national motto, "In God We Trust." Okay, so that's the 9 documents, and that's the 9 documents that I'm going to tell you just a little bit about, and that I'm here to ask you if you will place them in your courthouse, Justice Center, okay? We have them in over a third of the counties in the state, and some counties actually have 2 or 3 sets in different places, towns and things like that. So it was upon the truths that are in these documents that the American foundation was laid. And okay, sorry, got the wrong glasses on, that's why I can't read my typing. First and foremost, the truth that they are founded upon is that there is a God, and that God created each one of us. And in creating each one of us, he gave each one of us rights. He gave us inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it was upon these principles that flow from these truths that America became the greatest nation in history. Not a perfect nation. Just, I was thinking about it today. It's like great men or great women. They're not perfect because we're all sinners, but it is the greatest nation in history. So, such principles as self-government under God, rights based on the exercise of personal responsibility, and the freedom to enjoy these rights by the willingness to pay the cost. And they cost some people all. So just as those who came before us have made these sacrifices, each generation is also called to sacrifice. Today, America and Americans are on God's threshing floor. He is separating the wheat from the chaff. So if you are familiar with that kind of terminology, what that is that when you harvest a crop, and maybe you all know this better than I do, but you thresh the grain that comes in. And part of it is the wheat that goes over here, or the other grain, and the chaff that goes from it, okay? So when I think about it, and this is just a thought that has come to me of the idea that we are on God's threshing floor right now, you'll have to admit that big changes are happening in America today, and not only in America, but the whole world, okay? So I was thinking about it, and it came to my mind is, will we become the grain, or will we be the chaff that's blown away by the winds of history? Or will we find ourselves faithful and return to the truths and the principles that birthed and nurtured America, the land of the free? And I believe that these documents, and placing them in courthouses, justice centers, town halls, wherever across our state, is one way of putting down stakes and saying, this is what I believe. I was elected to represent you. And I believe that by educating the people in the county where I live and where I lead, that I am saying that this is what is important to America. And this is where we need to go back to, because I can tell you, if we don't, we're going to lose America, and we're going to lose freedom. And our children and our grandchildren are going to be the recipients of that. So I am here tonight to share that with you and to ask you if you would approve placing these documents, these 9 documents of America's history and law and government, in your courthouse or in another center, but preferably in the courthouse. That's where I'd like to see them go. And I also come with them sometimes. I do give, workshops and things like that, and teach students in schools, because they're not learning these things in school. I learned them in school when I was listening, and but they were still a part of me. And now what kids are learning in school is to denigrate them, is to not see the greatness of America, is to see the sins of America. Just like looking at a great man like George Washington or Thomas Jefferson and say, oh, well, he wasn't perfect. No, are you? No, none of us are. But these documents are the perfection of great men and women sacrificed for us. And they're why we have the freedom that we have today. So that's my
very good.
part. Now I'm going to hit the ball back over to your court. Okay.
Great.
So
what we'll do, we'll distribute out your handout, and we'll look at possibly taking this up at another time. But we do appreciate your time and presenting that and educating us on this.
yeah, do you have any questions for me before I go?
Any questions?
Okay, well, I'll tell you this, is that the documents cost $1,200. And one of the easiest things that I've done in doing this position, although it's a voluntary position, okay, as the director, is that raising the money is the easiest part, because there's always someone or someones who say, I want to buy those documents and I want to put them up. So if that's a problem, then you can let me know and we'll work out a payment plan for you.
Very good. Thank you so much. We
All right,
appreciate
well,
your
Thank
time.
you for having me come tonight,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I hope to hear from you soon. So how soon is that going to be?
Oh, give me follow up with me in a couple of weeks, and we'll see how things are looking.
All right.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other citizen comments? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next item is any statements, remarks from commissioners? Any statements? Very good. We do have a special presentation tonight. So ladies, if y'all want to come on up and you'd stand at the microphone. We have people online that need to be able to hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know who I'm talking to. Good evening. My name is Ann Flippen. I'm here along with Phyllis Rother as representatives of the Quilt of Valor Foundation. There's a chapter that we serve here in Athens, Oconee County. But we are part of a national organization, and our mission is simply to honor as many servicemen and veterans as we can with a Quilt of Valor to thank them for their service. Our organization began in the year 2003 with the very first quilt given in December of that year at Walter Reed Army Hospital to a soldier who'd lost his leg in war. And I looked on the website this morning, and as of today, our website says that we have awarded over 327,000 quilts of valor across the United States. And it is our honor today to be able to thank and award one of you, Mark Saxon, for your service. I believe Phyllis has a list of the awards that you have received over the years.
It's very, a lot of awards. Oh, I have to stand. Okay, Mark served from 1983 to 2007. And he was actually in Panama in 1999, but some of the awards were the Meritorious Service Medal, the Army Accommodation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Army Reserve Components Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, and the Humanitarian Service Medal. So that's quite a list. There's probably more, isn't it? Thank you. Now we have a little thing that we do, and we need you to come up here. I feel like I have my back to the people here, but okay, we do something special. First of all, this is your quilt, and I'm going to have Ann.
Okay. We in our group are very proud that we have many, many hands that touch our quilt. In a minute, you'll see the front of the quilt, which is our love to do as far as actually designing. Yours is unique and one of a kind. There's the back of the quilt, which is the strength of the quilt that's put together with a long arm. So you will see the stitches that have that are holding the layers together are very special for our veterans as well. We have an embroiderer that embroiders our labels as well as our military emblems that we're very proud of. And you are now listed with our Quilt of Valor Foundation, and this is your number. And if you ever lose it or the dog eats it or anything, we could definitely fix it and replace it. So at this time, on behalf of the Quilt of Valor Foundation, a grateful nation, which much, much gratitude and appreciation. We'd like to award you today with your Quilt of Valor. And it is our obligation as members of Quilts of Valor to give you your first hug and show you how to use it.
All right, so whoops. This is, I'll show, this is your quilt. Okay, so this is the top quilt.
Very nice.
This is the quilt. And you got the label. Yeah. So we have to wrap.
You can look on the website. Again, we want to thank you for your service to our country and save our people. You're so welcome. Thank you for letting us do it.
Now you can eat it.
Very special.
Less than a year.
Hold it up now. Let's do that. I get okay.
Very good. Congratulations, Mark.
Thank you, thank you.
Our next item will be to discuss updates to the speed detection device permit. Jody?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This is a update to the county's speed detection device permit or radar permit. It's renewed every 3 years with Georgia Department of Transportation. And the attached permit has been reviewed by Georgia DOT and is ready to move through the process of board approval. And I've listed a summary of the changes in the department memo. And when we started looking at it, the chairman, Justin, myself, the sheriff, we all sat down, looked at the existing permit, looked at the roads that we were getting calls about, and came up with a list of roads to study and evaluate. And out of that, the roads listed here are the ones that were recommended to lower the speed limit on. And so those are the changes on this permit. And the recommendation is, Public Works recommends approving the speed detection device permit and getting it back to Georgia DOT signed and so that it can be implemented.
Very good. Any questions for Jody on that? Yes, sir.
Was, Union Church Road, what's that?
Yeah, it was the recommendation was to leave the speed the same based on the engineering study.
Can remind me of the speed again? Or that's what I was looking for. If it was.
It's 55.
No.
I think it's currently posted at 50,
It's 50.
I believe so.
I just knew we had some calls about that.
We did study it. The recommendation was that to leave it the same.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. This be all right for consent agenda? Thank you, Jody. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next time, we discuss the courthouse HVAC project phase 2. Alex?
Good evening, Commissioners. In 2020, we began the multi-year project of replacing the end-of-life courthouse HVAC system. We completed 3 of the 4 phases, and we're now entering into the final phase this year, which would be for the first floor HVAC units and control system. Due to the substantial cost increases on HVAC equipment, we decided to pursue a competitive bid for the last phase of the project in order to get the best price possible. We received 4 responses to our RFP, and the RFP committee unanimously chose BOC Heating and Cooling to receive the bid for the last phase of courthouse HVAC project. The project was originally budgeted for $120,000, both for the HVAC unit and the control system. But due to substantial lead times of the control system, we ordered the controls separately a few months ago in order to ensure they would arrive before fiscal year end. The BOC quote for the HVAC portion of the project came in at $103,805, and the control cost from Convergent, which we've already purchased, was $52,970. This adds up to a total project cost of $156,775. Since the budget was originally $120, approval of the BOC bid will require a budget amendment to increase the budget to $156,775 for this project. Also, in order to ensure that everything is squared away with finance, I would ask that if the board approves, they approve the project with the following condition, approve with budget amendments as necessary for the life of the project. This will ensure that funding remains available if the project crosses fiscal years, since there's a risk of this due to the lead times that we're seeing for the HVAC equipment. Staff's recommendation is to approve the BOC bid of $103,805 and to approve a budget amendment for the project, increasing the budget from $120 to $156,775 with budget amendments as necessary for the life of the project. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
This is SPOS funding.
Yes.
Very good. Any questions for Alex on that? Thank you. Be all right for consent agenda?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Next time is discuss the Oconee Kennel Club Animal Assistance Trailer.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. I'm here to present to you a Canine Support and Relief Fund Memorandum of Understanding. The summary is the American Kennel Club and Oconee River Kennel Club wish to partner with Oconee County EMA regarding the purchase of a pet disaster relief unit trailer.
Our recommendation would be to execute the accompanying memorandum of understanding on the December sixth meeting. Financial impact, there's none immediately. Potentially there will be maintenance of the trailer, tires, brakes, et cetera, will be required. Supplies are not anticipated to significantly affect future budgets as we will rotate the supplies housed on the trailer in order to continuously ensure its readiness. And the analysis, the American Kennel Club Pet Disaster Relief Unit is provided by a partnership between the American Kennel Club and the Oconee River Kennel Club. Having this asset provided to us better prepares Oconee County and the region to respond in the event of a catastrophic occurrence that displaces multiple pets. It will include stock upon receipt, maintenance of supplies on board will ensure continuous readiness.
Very good.
Thank you.
Any
Anybody?
questions?
And what I read a couple times, would this unit be able to be taken outside of our jurisdiction or is it just exclusively for Oconee County?
It will be used, it can be used outside of our jurisdiction as an agency assist for, like, say, surrounding counties, if they need assistance.
Does any surrounding counties have a unit?
No, sir.
It's at the discretion of Crystal though, as it'd be at the discretion of Crystal about whether to deploy or provide the agency assist. So part of the MOU was making sure that our agencies aren't going to be encumbered by some outside agencies in exchange for it.
I saw that. Okay. All right, thank you.
Be all right for consent agenda?
Yes.
Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next item, discuss the 2023 resurfacing and LMIG application. Jody?
This item of business is our annual resurfacing and local maintenance and improvement grant application that's submitted to Georgia Department of Transportation. It for fiscal year 2023, our portion of the LMIG funding is $678,085.29. And that's based on a formula Georgia DOT has that considers lane mileage and population. And they tell us what the amount would be based on that formula. It does require 30% match of construction funds. And historically, we've not had any problems meeting that. Our program is usually larger than what the LMIG grant money covers, so we're overmatching. And and so we did look at the ratings based on the pavement evaluation that we undertook earlier in the year and developed this program for FY23. And based on the funding available, it's recommended to resurface 11.84 miles of roadway for an estimated total of $2,960,984.85. And that includes SPLOST, LMIG, and then general fund. And Public Works recommends approving the FY 2023 resurfacing program, authorizing the FY 2023 LMIG submittal to Georgia DOT, authorizing the chairman to sign any necessary documents. And then I would add that approve any necessary budget amendments for the life of the project up to the contract amount in case we do carry over into another fiscal year. That allows us to do that. So any questions on this submittal?
I do have one, just curiosity. With the fact that we're putting, I think it's 2 million out of SPLOST
That's correct.
and 300 coming out of.
Roughly, yes, sir.
Okay. If the money was all there in SPLOST, could that be the category the matching funds came from?
It could be. It doesn't specify that it has to come from SPLOST or general fund. We just have to match at least 30% of what they contribute.
I'm just curious. You know, and LMIG, figure been going up or down over the last few years, that number of 678?
I think it's down just a little bit from last year, but then 2 years ago, it was like 613,000. So it really depends on what the legislature approves in the state budget.
So it's been pretty steady.
It has, I think last year was around 678,000 or 600, might have been. One year it was 685, this year it was 678, 2 years ago it was 613. I think 3 years ago it was in the 630 range.
Any other questions on that one? You all right for consent agenda? Yes. Thank you, sir. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Next item is discuss the DCA memorandum of agreement for the Plan First program. Guy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Oconee has again been awarded the designation as a Plan First community by the Department of Community Affairs. Our first designation was in 2019 for a 3-year period starting in January of 2020. So the attached memorandum you have before you this evening is a requirement of the second designation that will begin January 1, 2023 through December 31st, 2025. And that is for your approval and authorization of the chairman to sign. Thank you.
I'd just like to add kudos to Guy and his staff and his staffing challenges for having achieved this award designation again.
Any questions or comments? Very good. Be all right for consent agenda?
Yes.
Thank you. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next item is discuss the 2023 alcohol license renewal applications. Holly?
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. In your packet, you have a spreadsheet of the 2023 alcohol license applicants. For the 2023, there will be 18 grocery and convenience stores, 21 restaurants, and we now have 12 wholesalers for a total of 51 applicants. Applications and fees are submitted. There is one applicant, which is Cracker Barrel, that their application is pending, or approval is pending because they have a new registered agent. Background check is complete, but they still have to do the rest, training with Marchman Consulting and that new person have been in contact, and that training should take place in the next week or so. And we request approval for those licenses to be issued for the first of the year.
Did they have the state registry working for this year? Or is that next year?
It has been working. It's been challenging. I would say we've received about half of our applications over the new state portal and about half have been brought in. The state did not require it, did not have any fines or fees if it was not done over the state this year. That's what they were encouraging. And then we're going to see what they do for next year. But a lot of challenges for a lot of smaller businesses trying to go through that process.
Any questions on the renewals? Be all right for consent agenda?
Yes.
Very good. Do we have any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next item is discuss the Board of Commissioners meeting schedule for 2023. Received in your packet the list of the dates for our meetings. There were a few that got moved around for holidays or ACCG stuff. So no big surprises. We did go ahead and enter all our town halls for the next year. So every meeting we got planned is on that list. Any questions or comments on those? Be all right for consent agenda? Very good. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Next time, discuss the Board of Commissioners Vice Chair schedule for 2023 through 2026. This is just our normal rotation amongst commissioners as Vice Chair. So starting in 2023, it'll be Mark Saxon, 2024, Mark Thomas, 2025, Chuck Horton, and 2026, Emery Harden. Any questions or comments there? Be all right for consent agenda? Very good. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? The next item is reference to rezone P 22-015 5, which is Deferred Tax LLC, requesting a B1 PUD General Business District Plan Unit Development and a B2 to a B1 and a B2. This is 33.657 acres located at 3651 Mars Hill Road. It is currently vacant. Yesterday at 12:26, we received an email from attorney David Ellison with Fortson, Bentley and Griffith. Mr. Ellison's email contained a 5-page letter as well as a 144-page document containing an affidavit and exhibits. In order to allow staff appropriate time to review the information provided, I recommend we postpone action on rezone P22-0155 until our meeting on February 7th, 2023. Any questions from commissioners? Nope. All right, do we have any public comment on this item? Anyone virtually? Very good. We'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve that. Change. I second.
Okay, we have a motion to second. Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. We do have the need of an executive session to discuss personnel and litigation.
Make a motion to adjourn to executive session for personnel litigation.
We have a second? All right, very good. All in favor?
Oh, I'm sure you did.
We need a motion to go back in regular session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor? Commissioner Harden?
Mr. Chairman, in, pending business, I, would like to recuse myself.
Okay. Good. Dan, you want to give us a report out on the?
I will. There is a condemnation that the county's been involved in for the last couple of years, well, last 3 years, I guess. Dickens Farm versus Oconee County, and Parkside Property Development LLC and Athens Construction Group LLC. This involves our condemnation of property for sewer line. Also involves an inverse condemnation claim that Dickens Farms has made against the board for things that happened during the construction of the sewer line. And I'll remind you and tell anybody that's listening, all amounts that are paid under this settlement are being paid by Parkside Property Development LLC pursuant to the settlement agreement in the sewer lawsuit that we had several years ago with Parkside. They are obligated to pay for all costs of the sewer line, including acquisition of right of way. Consequently, we aren't out of pocket on anything involved with this lawsuit. So in the conversations between Parkside and Dickens, they agreed on a settlement of $825,000, which includes the amount of money already being paid into the that has already been paid into the court. And the board needs to approve this since we're the condemning authority. And then we will we'll let Parkside Development know that that has been done. They're assuming we'll do it tonight, and they'll pay money into the registry of the court. It'll be paid to Dickens, and all claims involved with this lawsuit will be dismissed, and the county will have an easement on the property. So we just need a motion to approve this consent order, and then I'll relay that on to the appropriate people.
Very good.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent order.
Second.
You have a motion second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Commissioner Saxon?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we're adjourned.